And coming out this week is Concord on PS5 and PC.
Chris, you have that pre-ordered?
I do not, but I do plan to grab it on Friday.
Okay.
It comes out, so they have a digital deluxe version that if you buy that, I think you can start playing tomorrow.
Get it Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
Tuesday.
But really? I'm fine. Okay. I'm fine to wait till Friday. I have another buddy that works at the media company that I do, based down in Houston, that I know played the beta, but we never connected to play together. But I was down there last week and I ran into him and he was asking me if I was again. I was like, yeah, man, I'm planning to pick it up.
Oh, nice.
There's still a lot of what's going to happen with it. Who knows? Is it going to have to pivot to a free to play model? And then what's the problems with that if it does to the people who bought it? Personally, I don't really care. Once I buy it, if they switch to free to play to get more people in or whatever, so be it. Again, I will say from my perspective on the PS5 during the betas anyways, I never had any problem getting into any game the entire time that I played. I definitely sounds like it was a different story on PC. If you remember, I was saying that I found out later that crossplay is not on by default. So I was never paired with PC people. Which I would turn that off likely anyways. But I guess the only pool I was pulling from was the PS5. And again, it was an open beta. So take that with what you will.
Yeah, why not? Right?
The first time was an open beta, or excuse me, the second time was an open beta. The first one was I had to be invited into it because I hadn't pre-ordered the game. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It's the most invigorated I've been with a PvP game in a while, and I'm just hoping that it stays and can go. Can have some. Yeah. I don't need it to be the biggest thing under the sun. I just need it to be good enough that it can keep on going and I can keep playing and have games to get into. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I'm willing to take a shot. I had too much fun, and I probably put in at least 20 hours over the two betas.
Oh, really?
I mean, I put in a lot of time. Wow. I put a lot into that game. So
one thing I admire about you, Chris, is you are very good at keeping a level head and a reasonable outlook. And so I know you're big into Concord and you're very excited about it. How do you think it's going to go?
I think that it will end up switching to free to play at some point down the road.
Yeah.
I think that it will be, or at the very least, I think what they'll do initially is it'll likely get dropped onto PS Plus so that everybody gets access to it. Or, a lot of people get access to it. Of course, that doesn't really help the PC side. The PC side, it just may not take off, which we'll have to see. I mean, there is the whole fear of, and this is the case with all PvP games that come out, there's just not enough people to sustain them all. So ones are going to die. So I don't have a problem with them taking the shot at it. I do think because Sony seems to have so much faith in this game that maybe they'll just float it for the first year or first, half a year, 6 months, something in like that, just to see. Wait till you get to the spring and the fall, or excuse me, not the fall, the spring and like early summer next year, and see it before they make a move to free to play. I don't know if that makes financial sense for them. I do know that, I mean, they liked and believed in the game and the developer so much that they bought them just after testing the game. So, I mean, regardless of what happens with it, they have a lot of faith in this team. And the crazier thing about it is that I'm just going on a little bit of a tangent here.
No, that's
go
fine.
for it, man.
The crazy thing about it is almost everybody who played the game, actually played the game, enjoyed the game. I feel like the majority of the trepidation I get, again, from people who play the game, because there's a huge swath of people that did not even try it and just trash talked it from the beginning. And those people are out to lunch. You can't do anything about that. But of the people that played it, the biggest thing that I feel like I hear is that they're afraid that it's just not going to sustain. So they don't want to drop the money and it not sustain. Or if they drop the money and then down the road they switch to free to play, then they feel like, well, I spent $40 for no reason. I'm just personally, because I had enough fun with it, $40 is not a big deal to me. Like, I mean, it is in the grand scheme of things, but considering how much I enjoyed the game, I feel like I'm getting it at a discount because I could be paying $70 for this game or $60 for this game.
Sure.
So to me, that's not as big a deal. And if them switching to free to play, 4 months down the road, if I've been able to play my tail off that whole time, I'm not going to feel like I'm getting hosed because they switched models. I'm fine with them doing what they need to do to make the game sustainable or bring in some new people. it would not shock me. I'm saying would not shock me if February, March, the whole narrative has changed on this game, and a lot of people are starting to play it and really enjoying it. It would not shock me because the game, I feel like, is that good. I agree with some people that I don't think the character designs are bad. I actually kind of like a lot of them, but like the skins and stuff that they do have, like there's none of that stuff's super interesting. It's like, but I also don't really care because it's a first person game. I mean, I understand skins are a big monetization thing and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't, that's not a big thing for me personally. So I will agree that the art style of it and the direction they went with it, the aesthetic of it is like a love it or hate it kind of thing. I understand that. But to me, gameplay is always king. And if it plays really good, which I feel like it does, I had a lot of fun playing it. I don't care if it's the whole thing's neon yellow and green, like whatever. I just, as long as I have fun playing the game, that's all that I really care about. And I had a lot of fun. And I feel like if more people get their feet wet and play it, the narrative would switch or their opinions would switch. But there, like I said, there's a whole huge swath of people right now that are just not even going to touch it because of ridiculous reasons.
So. I really hope, Chris, that like with Speedstorm, it came out in early access, but you had to pay for it. And then like 6 months later, it went free to play. And after picking it up, I was immediately, I'm so glad I have this head start. And then when it went free to play, and that's what I hope, if it goes free to play, I hope you're the same way. Like it's the same story where I'm not even upset about it because I have this 6 month head start on everybody else now that I'm genuinely taking advantage of. And so I don't regret paying for it a bit. So, because it's so fun, I didn't mind giving them some money.
As they've been getting closer to release over the last couple of weeks, they've been releasing more information about it and whatnot. And so they finally started to talk a little bit more about the roadmap. Now, all new, rather than call them heroes, they call them free gunners, but we'll just, for the sake of simplicity, we'll call them heroes. All the new heroes, the new maps, if there's any new game mode, any of that stuff is going to be a la the original Overwatch model where it just comes and it's free and you just get it. They are going to have not really, not a battle pass, but they are going to have a season. It's going to start in October is the first one. And that's when their microtransaction store with cosmetics that you can purchase if you like will open up. And that will be a thing. And I don't think, I don't know, but I don't think I remember reading anything about like you can earn those, but that'll be their only real way of doing it because everything else, or their only real way to continue make monetization because everything else they've said till now is going to be free with the game. That may just be for the first year. We'll see what happens after that. But as long as this game doesn't switch to free to play like during season 1, so that would be October, November. I mean, if they December, January, February, you could just get a couple of months in there. I'm fine. I mean, if they switch to it immediately and I just dropped $40, that will be a little irritating.
I don't think
if we're a quarter in, 6 months in, and they change to it to try something new to sustain something. Me personally, I'm not going to have any issue. I'll be like, yeah, whatever. I got my money's worth. I feel like fine. I mean, I played like 20 hours in the 2 betas. I mean, I'm halfway to feeling like I already paid for this game.
You are invested. You are invested now, sir.
I've had a great time.
That's awesome.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah.